Welcome. In this video, I'm going to break down how to start a coaching business in 2024 and drop you possibly the best niche that I feel is out there. So by the end of this video, you should know exactly, exactly what to do in order to get yourself started, get yourself moving, and change a bunch of lives. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Luke Anning. I'm a former six-figure confidence and mindset coach. And now I help coaches be absolute badasses, travel the world, change lives, and build coaching businesses. So yeah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come in, we're going to change your life, change a load of lives. This is going to be a real note taker. So one of the things that I wanted to first go into is why in the hell would you want to start a coaching business? I'm going to take some topics from Start With Why by Simon Sinek. So how great leaders inspire everyone to take action. So what's key to think about when building this coaching business or when building your coaching business is starting with your why first. But why would you actually have a coaching business? Let's just get rid of these tasks. So the first reason is there is a growing demand for personal development. So there's an increasing awareness, appreciation for personal growth and self-improvement. Have you guys noticed the amount of podcasts that's going out at the moment? You notice the amount of energy around self-help there is. Have you noticed how much help the world needs right now? Right, there's a lot. So this is going to likely increase the longer we go. And I've actually found some stats for you guys. So the US personal development market is worth a whopping 43.77 billion last year, and it's anticipated to grow at a rough annual rate of 5.5% from 2023 to 2030. So you can see there's just going to be more growth over time. So if you think that there's not room for you, there absolutely is. There's plenty of pieces of the puzzle available to you. So there could be books, e-platforms, personal coaching and training, workshops and seminars. And really we're looking right now at the personal coaching and training element. But yeah, there's plenty of growth potential. On top of that, you've got digital accessibility. So with the technology that we have at the moment, you can reach clients from anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. There's literally no geographical barriers. So I've got clients in Norway, Denmark, England, Germany, US, Canada, Medellin, Colombia. I've had clients in Australia, I've had clients in New Zealand, I've had clients everywhere. So there's a really big wide base that you can have. There's also, you can run your business from literally anywhere, and there's plenty of hours of flexibility, location, whatever you want, so that you can literally have the life that you want. So, for example, this is me in Colombia. This is me in Atlanta with my friends Bryce and David. This is me in Mexico with a load of other coaches and entrepreneurs. I've been to Iceland, and where else have I been? I've been all around America. I've been in Greece, Bali, Thailand, Malaysia, literally everywhere, and been able to run my business fine. So yeah, it's great. You can travel from wherever you want. There's also a diverse set of niches. Give you guys a bit of background. I coached, I mentored in my first coaching program that I was in. So I got an opportunity to coach over 1,000 different types of niches to coach. So there's everything from hair salon business owners to self-care, self-love, investment coaches, trading coaches, music coaches, all sorts, language coaches, depression coaches, relationship coaches, fitness coaches, wellness coaches, weight loss coaches, so many different niches. So if there's something that you're passionate about and you've been passionate about it for years, then there's a niche there for you. There's also the empowerment through helping others. So guys, our community is so cool. Imagine that you get to literally empowerment through helping others. So literally your profession revolves around empowering and helping others. Like, what other profession are you going to get these sorts of testimonials, like, on the regular? So Rebecca Fox, Luke is an amazing coach who gave me so much support throughout my journey, and I never felt alone. I can't recommend him enough. His honest to the point approach is what helped me achieve the results I desired. Rhiannon, in just 1 month of coaching, I feel like I've come farther than I have in 25 years. I have clear goals, I've completely solved general anxiety issues around daily tasks, I've taken a huge step in the right direction with my overall health, and I've even noticed potential employers pushing for me in this job market. So, crushing it. Shane, he's an MMA fighter and a business owner. It was amazing how much we worked through in the time we had together. I had breakthroughs in our meeting, and Luke helped me start to break the cycle of negative thoughts I was having. Luke changes lives. I've experienced the power of the work he does, as well as a strong recommendation. But Linda, who's a transformational coach. Luke's an understanding coach because of his talent to listen and reflect back. If you're looking for a coach that really cares and asks the right questions to help you work through blocks, you should work with him. I now feel confident for moving forward, and also learning to be more vulnerable, which is a huge accomplishment. So, like, there's tons here, guys. There's literally tons. Like, there's one from Ollie here. Without Luke, I would never have taken action into looking into these theories and habits, now forming an integral part of my daily decision making to create the value and support I've received so far from Luke is priceless. So, guys, like, there's a ton here. So yeah, there's literally, like, imagine getting like that much thanks from just genuinely helping people with something that you're super passionate about. It's amazing. And then we've got professional growth. Like, as a coach, like, literally your job is to grow yourself. So, like, if you like personal growth, if you like personal development, it's the best place to be. Because the more you get to work on yourself, the more you grow, the more you let go of your past identity and step into the best version of yourself, the better you become as a coach. So it's just an overall win. And then networking opportunities. Like, you can go to conferences, workshops, online communities, and coaches are like the best people you'll ever meet. I think you literally get to hang around with somebody who literally loves helping people. Like, our community chat, like, literally goes off. So I just go, like, into the introductions phase. Like, we had Rita and Blake join us literally yesterday, and like, everyone's like, welcome, you're gonna love it here, this is the place to be, welcome to the awesome community, you're in the right place. Great to see another men's coach in the community. And then Blake's like super passionate about helping men as well. So, like, there's like literally a ton of like great space and great energy to be in. So that's all well and good, but you want to think about, why do you specifically want to start one? Why do you specifically want to start a coaching business? Maybe you are the person that people always come to for help. Maybe you have an interest in psychology. Maybe you just love helping other people. Or maybe you genuinely like hate your 9 to 5 and you want to be in something that's more fulfilling. Like, Risa joined us yesterday because she was like, I really don't enjoy my waitressing. I've been coaching for the last year, but I haven't really like taken off with my business, and I know like this is my passion, like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And she was like, I don't want to be a waitress. So like, maybe like you're making good money in your 9 to 5, but you know, ultimately you're like, this isn't the one thing, this isn't the thing for me, and you want to start something that's super fulfilling. So yeah, maybe that's your vibe. So starting with why is key. So that's our first step, is why do you specifically want to start one? Write that down. The second thing is, every great company has a vision. So if we look at Elon Musk, my vision is for a fully reusable rocket transport system between Earth and Mars that is able to refuel on Mars. This is very important, so you don't have to carry the return fuel when you go there. Like, think how wild that vision is. Think how wild that is. You may love Elon Musk, you may hate Elon Musk, whatever, I don't care. But you've got to think, like, you tuning into this, somebody had to think of YouTube. Somebody had to think of Loom, which is the software I'm recording this on. Somebody had to have a vision for that thing. right? And that's how it's created. So you've got to have a big vision. You can't play small with this. So me, I want to eradicate UK homelessness and become the #1 company in my niche. That's it. That's it. Because if you lack clarity and you lack an outcome, you lack a vision, then it's going to leave you nowhere. You're thinking, I just don't want to do what I'm doing right now. That's great, but if you want to stop doing what you're doing, you could just stop, but that's not going to leave you in the best place, right? Because you haven't figured out what your vision looks like. So you want to know, what is your vision? What's your vision? And you also want to have an income mark. Now some of you guys are like, oh, I just want to help people. Okay, if you want to just help people, go and fucking volunteer. Like, guys, I can't tell you how passionate I am about eradicating homelessness, because I was on the border of being homeless. I was sleeping in my car 4 or 5 nights a week, working 2 jobs just before I started my coaching business. But ultimately, there's got to be a financial aspect to it. And if I gave you $1,000, would you take it? You'd be like, yeah, probably. Some of you guys who have more money are probably like, oh, I don't know. But if I give you $1 million, would you turn it down? No. So it is about the money. You just have your money beliefs in a place that isn't aligned. And people who say it's not about the money are fucking broke. And I can tell you that because I was like that at the start of my coaching journey. I was like undercharging, undervaluing myself. So if you want to create a big vision, there needs to be a financial aspect. Otherwise, like, how are you going to like imagine if you were Elon Musk and you wanted to raise some capital for getting your vision funded for. So imagine you've got a big vision, which we definitely want. If you went to investors and were like, yeah, I don't have any like idea how much this is going to cost or whatever, they're just going to laugh you out of the room because people need to know the numbers, right? So think about it. Next 3 months, next 5 years, next 10 years, how much money would you like to earn? And I want to challenge you here to think bigger. So whatever you put for the next 5 years, 10 years, I want you to 10x that. So if it's like, I want to earn 100,000 a year, it's like, I want to earn $1 million a year. If it's $1 million, then 10. If it's a 10, 100. Because most people overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in 10. And if you think bigger, imagine the amount of lives that you would have impacted because of you being rewarded with the capital for the transformation. Like, have a think about that. Like, how many lives would you get to change if you had more money? What would you do with the money? Whose life would you change? Who would you help? I guarantee it's a lot more than the 10% version of yourself. So don't be a 10% version, be a 10x version of yourself. So this is key. Mission, vision. So my goal in 2024 is 5 million in client results and 100K a month for me. And my mission is to make this company the #1 company in my niche. My vision is to get 1,000 people off the streets. 1,000 people off the streets. So what is yours? And it can be milestones. Like, I get that. Like 5K a month, 10K a month. I want to get my first client, whatever that is. I want to help somebody. Like, these are milestones, but you've got to think bigger. So what's your goal, your mission, and your and what's your goal, your mission, and your vision? Next comes values. So when you think about your values, most people don't actually know what their values are. Most people aren't actually living in alignment with their values. They say they value discipline or structure or getting things done or living in accordance with their health, but a lot of their habits and behaviors don't align with that. So have a think about it. What do you value? And what would you like the people in your place of organization to value? Let's say you grow this company to 10 million a year and you have employees. What would you like them to value? And what would the clients you work with, what would you like them to value? Because then you're going to work with people that are like just basically versions of you, which is a huge win, because then you know exactly how to help them. So for me, I was playing around with some AI earlier. It didn't give me the text that I was wanting. But anyhow, for me, I like to work with people that are decisive. So if you can't make decisions, you want to wait 1 week, 2 weeks, 5 weeks, 10 weeks, 3 years to change your life, you're not the one for me. And I get it because I was you. But at the same time, like, you've got to be decisive. So if you're going through this video and you're like, hey, I'm thinking about doing a coaching business. No, like decide. Like I am going to build a coaching business. Decide. Because when you decide, that's when your actions are going to start being in alignment with that decision. The second is growth orientated. I want people that are going to be coachable, are ready to look at themselves and say, you know what, I don't know everything, and if I knew everything, I would have achieved it by now. And I get it, because again, I was that person who had a massive ego and thought I knew everything, and that's why I was stuck. And then I'm people first and results driven. Ultimately, if you come into a process and you don't get the results that you were looking for, if you invest into a coach and you don't even know what your niche is, you haven't got your results, and that's not cool. So we're results driven. So have a think about your values. What are your values? Okay, now we've got kind of like past the why. We're going to get into the thick of actually the coaching piece here. So the first thing that you need to know is, what market are you in? What market are you in as a coach? So there's three kind of main markets. We've got health. So think fitness coaching, wellness coaching. We've got wealth. So think any business that helps another business make more money or be more productive so that they can make more money. And then we've got relationships. So that could be improving a relationship at work. It could be breakups, divorce, dating, masculine and feminine polarity, something like that, right? And we got relationships. And I think relationships is probably one of the most untapped markets out there. Because how many fitness coaches do you know? How many personal trainers do you know? Tons. Now, don't get me wrong, is there a growing problem and need for it? Yes, for sure. How many people online do you say, hey, I can make you 10K in 48 hours? A lot, right? But relationships is untapped. There is so much potential here. So much potential. Think about the growing problem that's going on with relationships at the moment. You've got people with dating apps. You've got people who are being more personal development and growth orientated. So it means that they're not settling into necessarily traditional roles and traditional relationships. How many people are long distancing now because of the internet? These all cause relationship challenges. So I think personally, one of the best markets that you can be in. Now there's 4 key things that you need to know with your niche. First thing, now we've got our market. So we'll first have the market. The next we need is your niche. So your niche is within the market. Right? So is your niche easy to target? So are they in the Amazonian tribe, or would you be able to go and find them on the internet quite easy? So you want to be able to go and find somebody quite easily. The second is that somebody has money. Again, guys, like, I'm here to eradicate UK homelessness, but I don't work directly with homeless people. Why? Because they can't afford my service. Even if it was like $10, they might not be able to afford my service. I'd be doing myself a disservice. So we take the capital from people that invest in us, and then that goes into a pot to help homeless people, right? So you need to help people with money. So think doctors, lawyers. Think about the job positions or job sectors you've been in. You could have been a waitress, but you might have great knowledge of hospitality. So you might help hospitality leaders, right? Improve their communication with their employees or something like that. And you might have been an executive. You might have worked in corporate. Think about this. Who has money? The third thing is there needs to be a growing trend of a market. So you couldn't go and help people who were like tin mine entrepreneurs, because tin is declining each year. You know, like tin, like actual like metal tin. It's like declining every year, right? So as newspapers, you wouldn't go and be a newspaper coach, because newspapers are an annual decline of like 25% each year. So you wouldn't do that. So your market needs to be, your niche and your market need to be growing in some way. So we've got the relationships portion. growing need for relationships. And at the same time, like, we've got health. There's a growing need for health, of people being overweight and stuff like that, right? So those are some key points. Have a little bit of a consideration as we're deciding our market and we're deciding our niche. So maybe help women, maybe help men, maybe help doctors, maybe help lawyers, whatever that is. And the fourth, somebody needs to be in pain. So I love this analogy. One of my favorite analogies I learned from one of my mentors, but it's just a better way of teaching it than I used to do. So think of your ideal client right now is in the desert and they haven't had water in like 2 days. And because of that, they are absolutely parched. Like, they are thirsty. Now, your solution, your service is that glass of water oasis. It's life-saving. It's game-changing. That is the impact that your intended solution should have. Now, this is simply just a problem. Let's simplify this down a bit, guys. This is simply a problem, and you're simply giving somebody a solution to that problem. Would that be fair enough to say? This is a problem, somebody in the desert, and you're giving them water, the solution. This is what coaching is. You have a problem, and you share your ways to their solution. It's that simple. Now, the easiest way to do this, and the way that I find gives you the most fuel, is to get an even blend between your skill, your passion, and your purpose. Your skill, your passion, and your purpose. So, for example, when I started coaching, my skill was I had done high-level fitness and athletics for 10 years, and I also had a really high-level fitness coach, like not just any Joe Blogs off the street, like the guy literally informs the world's leading fitness professionals. So like, he's really on it. So I had a lot of great coaching from the start. And then my passion at the time was, I was like, oh, well, I would love to see the world drop weight. Like, obesity is a big problem. So I feel like I'm super passionate about that. And at the time, my purpose was to help the old version of me. The old version of me who was anxious, depressed, was really unconfident, and just didn't know where to go in life. And that was my purpose. I was like, I've got to help this person because I know what it feels like to be there. And some of you guys know what it feels like to be in the absolute gutter. So maybe your purpose is helping that old version of yourself. Like, imagine if you knew that every single day you were going to wake up and you were going to help somebody who was the old version of yourself. How would that feel? You were going to help them move towards where you're at now. That's powerful. That's a big shift. So those are kind of the key things that you want to get started. Now, it's also key, and I said about this earlier, is that you help somebody with money. But it's not also just helping somebody with money, because once you've got your niche, once you've got your skill, passion, purpose midpoint, like you want to be at this midpoint here. And maybe, guys, like, before we move on to that next bit, maybe you write down 5 to 10 things in each thing. So 5 to 10 things you're skilled at. Maybe you're skilled at being empathetic. Maybe you're skilled at yoga. Maybe you're skilled at talking to people. Maybe you're skilled at teaching. Maybe you're skilled at YouTube. Maybe you're skilled at building an agency. Maybe you're skilled at helping people in relationships. Maybe you're great at building habits for yourself and looking after yourself and self-care and self-love. You know, what are you passionate about? You might be passionate about eggs, right? You might be passionate about cooking. You might be passionate about going out in nature. You might be passionate about discipline and habits and hard work. You might be passionate about fitness. But again, there might be some crossover, and that's okay. You might be passionate about business and making money. Like, that's fine. It's what, like 5 to 10 things. Then you need to help people with money, and it's better for you to charge higher. So once you have your market, you got your niche. Now we're going to get into in a second what you need to do to actually build a coaching service. But in order to price that coaching service, you need to price high. And the reason being is because high prices often correlate with perceived value. So think about like Gucci or Louis Vuitton or Bentley or Bugatti Veyron, right? Bugatti. These have a high perceived value and a top quality service, and therefore their clients are more engaged, right? So it's the same for you. Perceived value is higher when you price higher. You also get better client commitment, because think about it like this: if you missed a session, it was like $25, you'd be like, oh, okay, like, I'll just make sure I show up to the next one. You might miss the next one. But if you were charging $5,000 and you paid $5,000 and you missed one session and you got one session a week, you're like, damn, like, I just wasted like $1,250. Like, I can't be doing that. Like, this is serious. Or you may not even miss it whatsoever. Like, my first coaching program that I invested into, I went to every single call. I did not care what time it was. I was like, I'm showing up to this calls because one, I paid for it, and two, I know it's going to change my life. And it did. I earned 10K in like 32 days. So, right? You also get better clients when you charge more, because they're more motivated and prepared to do the work required to achieve their goals. You also have a sustainable business model. So if you get more profit from your business, which is literally the goal of a business, otherwise you're just building a non-profit or a hobby, and you don't need a ton of clients. Like, what would you rather have? 1,000 clients at $10 a month? Or would you rather have one client at $1,000? Which one are you going to be able to serve better? Right? So you want to charge more so you can have less clients and you can help that person even more, get a better work-life balance and less burnout. And also, if you're putting more into one client, you're going to have a greater impact on the client's life. Look at this as quality over quantity. You can also put your cash back into personal development, so you can then further grow yourself. It's a win. Like, because of this, like, I was able to get therapy. I was able to sort my relationships out. I was able to get a men's coach. I was able to get my shoulders sorted out. I was able to get my posture sorted out. Like, so many things were sorted because I became a coach. On top of that, you also can very easily become an authoritative figure. It's so easy on social media, and once you change lives to do that. You also get an ability to provide more value. So with your clients, you can put more into that client and make it more individual or more customized and change more lives. You also get financial freedom. Like, so that's a W. And there's all these other ones. Like, there's literally like so many more reasons here. But like, this is how Shadi literally went from charging like $1,500 to $5K and then 10x her investment in my program, because she started charging more. It's how Farah had an $18,000 sale. An $18,000 sale. Some of you guys make that in a year. I know I used to make that in a year. So like, imagine that. Just one day, one sale, one person or one company you work with. If she's working with the police department. Like, what could that do for you? Or like $3,500 in a week for Jeannie. Like, what could that do for you? Or £3,500. Like, what could that do for you, genuinely? So, how do I actually build a coaching service? How do I actually do this thing? So, it's really simple. Your client is at point A. Your potential client is at point A. The people you help are at point A, and they have got problems, right? And then you're going to get them to point B, which is an outcome, a dream outcome. And the reason why they haven't got there is because their current route has maybe looked a little bit like this. Right? It's been sort of everywhere. They maybe went down that way, or they went down that way, or they tried this, or they tried that. It didn't work. So your job is to help somebody, as clear as possible, get to the result. So you want to have a think. Like, think about the old version of you, or the thing that you feel called to help with. What are all the problems? Here, list all the problems. Like, what are all the problems that you dealt with? And on the flip side, on the B side, you want to think, well, what were the dream outcomes? Maybe they were the opposite of the problems. But like for me, as a new coach, when I started my business, had 8 clients off the get-go because I posted on Instagram, and I'd been posting motivational stuff on Instagram for a good like 6 months up to that point. So I built like a little bit of a following, but genuinely, like if you have Facebook friends, Instagram friends, WhatsApp friends, email friends, whatever, you can get clients. You're good. You can get clients from the get-go. But then think about what's the dream outcome. And I always say this, like some people in the space like might try and help with like self-care or self-love. And I don't like that, because nobody wakes up at night and goes, oh, I just wish I had more self-care. No, they wake up in the middle of the night and they're like, I wish I had somebody with me. And it's what you achieve by doing the self-care and the self-love, right? So you've got to think about the outcomes, and you've got to think about the main markets: health, wealth, relationships. So what's the dream outcome? And write that down. What is that dream outcome for someone? So like we know for like some of my clients, like you guys, you want to travel. You want to leave your job. You want to make 10K a month, and then 50K a month, then 100K a month. You want to change a bunch of lives. These are outcomes. These are outcomes that you guys want. Possibly want. Maybe you just want to be in something more fulfilling. These are dream outcomes. And then your job is to create a process from someone to get from A to B. That is your coaching. And that might take 8 weeks. It might take 5 months. But when you're just starting out, you're not going to know that, right? So maybe you think about, okay, what are a few topics that I could teach each week, and how could that make chronological sense? And then from there, how long would that take somebody to go through that? 12 weeks? Okay, 12 weeks, and then just give them an extra month. Like give them an extra month, because there'll be some buffer, there'll be some things that you don't necessarily know, or you didn't know about what to do when you got started, or how to do it. So yeah, cover that. You'd be good as gold. So once you get your process like really locked in, you're going to be good as gold. And so you know how this works in stages. Typically, it's best to start with one-to-one. So start with one-to-one coaching, so you get your first 10 clients. And the reason being, you can't just go out and build a course, because you don't know what people want. You haven't worked intimately with them. Plus, the same skill set that you need to sell a course at $500, you could have sold at $5,000 on one-to-one and made more money. And I know this, guys, because I worked in music events, marketing and sales before I became a coach. And the same skill set that we used to sell tickets at $20 with the same sales was the same skill set that I used to book calls for $12,000 sales. Right? So don't underprice yourself, because it's scary. You're going to charge high ticket first, and you're going to do it one-to-one so that you can give someone an intimate experience, and you can improve your service and get feedback weekly. And then stage 2, once you have 10 clients, then you look to build videos, a course, to then take group calls. So we have how our process works is we have an onboarding call within the first. So we have a sign up call, which is our roadmap call. Then we have within 1 to 2 days, they start going through the first module, which is all around neuroidentity, which you can check out a different video for that. And then we have an offer breakdown call. So I basically help you with this process from A to B to make sure that it's super dialed in, so that you get real life, real results with people. And then after that, we have 3 weekly group clinic calls, but I've been doing it for 3 years, guys. So it started off purely one-to-one weekly calls and one-to-one chats. And then it started being one-to-one weekly calls and 1 group call and a group community chat. And then it started being 2 weekly group calls, a shorter one-to-one call, and a video course in the background. But I'm on like maybe the 8th iteration of my main program at the moment. So like, it takes time. It takes time. You've got to think about this. You're improving every day, so you're going to want to add value or take away things that are not relevant anymore, right? Because you evolve as a person and you evolve as a coach. So that's what I do. It's like the best place. It's genuinely the best place. If you love evolving yourself, become a coach. Just become a coach. And then we teach people the Badass Coach Growth Funnel. So then that way we've got marketing systems set up, and we've got 5 to 10x on ROI in 2 to 5 months. Although we have done it faster. So we got this little checklist, guys. We got your mission, your vision, your goal. Have we done that? If not, pause the video, go back, go and do it. We got your market selected. We got your niche selected. So think about the old version of you, what things you could teach, what problems you could help move past. Then we've gone through the SPP, so skill, passion, purpose. We've gone over your offer, what sort of things could get somebody from A to B. And now, drum roll please, we need the marketing. We need a system. Now let me talk about the importance of a system and where I feel like 99% of coaches go wrong. So this absolute legend is a guy called Sir Joseph Balagueret. I'm going to get this wrong. Give me a second. All right, we did a low-key Google. Sir Joseph Balagueret. And he was the guy who was the civil engineer in the Victorian times when what happened in London was something called the Big Stink. So think, you had all these people in London and there was no effective sewering systems. So there was just shit everywhere. And there was a mass epidemic of cholera. It's pretty nasty, right? You've got to think the same for business. There needs to be systems in place. Because otherwise there's going to be shit everywhere. And his foresight, he didn't just build systems for where he was at. He thought, how can I build systems now that are going to last hundreds of years? And the sewer systems in London are still used today. And this is like the 1860s, right? So, but you have to have systems. And this is the problem, is people don't have systems, and then they wonder why their business is a pile of shit. It's a cholera epidemic because there's no systems. Can you imagine if this guy was like, yeah, we'll just throw in a few tunnels here and there, that'll work? No, we needed systems. We need systems, guys. So marketing, you need a system. So let me show you the Badass Coach Growth Funnel. And this is all based on systems. So you could just do content, which is what most organic people do. It worked in the early days of coaching, and it worked in COVID. But guys, what year are we moving into? Or what year are you listening to this? Possibly 2024, even 2025. Be rock and roll if we're still there. Let me know down below if you are. But we're going into 2024. Guys, would you rather pay to have your ideal client follow you literally tomorrow so that you can start helping people? Or would you rather try and figure out content for the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 3 years, and then maybe give up hope and lose? And I know this, guys, because we spent 3 years in organic and we capped out at 30k a month. So like, I know to some of you it's like, oh my god, I'd love that, but like, we capped out our ability to be able to serve people. So we started doing ads and everything took off. And people think that you need really expensive ads to get sorted. You don't. Like, I don't have the testimonial in here, but Nadine and Niels, they're a couples coach, and they were in the organic grind for like 3 years, not booking any sales calls, so like not even like moving down this funnel. So they weren't getting any content, they weren't getting any conversations, they weren't booking calls, they weren't bringing on any clients. They spend 7 to 18 euros a day and get 25 to 50 follows from their ideal client every single day. Every single day. So even if they're ill on one day and they can't create content, the ad keeps going for them. It's literally automation. It's literally the business working for you. It's a business that works. It's a system. It's a system that it doesn't matter how much shit comes through the funnel, it's going to keep working. It doesn't matter what happens in the world. It's going to keep working. And when you have a super clear message and consistent traffic, you know exactly what your niche is, you know exactly how to speak to that niche. You get DMs like Ryan. Like, he literally has had DMs from his follower ad asking for info on his program because it's so good. Sonia's been having back-to-back 3K weeks. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy what you can do when you actually have a proper marketing system and sales process in place. So you guys are probably like, okay, this is great. We do fire content, ads, possibly YouTube. We do a VSL. I've got no idea what that is. We do content, a call to action, conversation call, offer, onboarding, etc. Like, that's great, Luke, but I don't know how to do that. Well, guys, I freaking got you. I'm not messing around in this. I've got you. So one of the first key things that you want to do on your Instagram page is think about what are 9 topics you could talk about that would solve your ideal client's problems. And to make this easy, guys, just think about the A to B process. Like, from A to B, what is some content that could talk about that A to B process? Or you could give it away for free. Like, it doesn't matter. Because if you give it away for free, people don't know your value until you give them the value. Like, people make this mistake all the time. I say this all the time. Coaches are like, oh, well, I built my website and I just need to put it out there to see if people are interested, to know if this is going to work. No, just because you put the product on the shelf does not mean it's going to be bought. You need to showcase why you are valuable, why you're going to change somebody's life. So I'm going to give you away some scripts for free. So this might look like, if you do a quick video, you pull out your phone, you say, if you are a niche and you struggle with XYZ, stop doing XYZ and instead do this. I get you, I used to be here, that left me feeling X, so instead do this and you get Y. So example, if you want to start a coaching business, you got cash, but you struggle with knowing where to start, stop telling yourself you don't know where to start and instead tell yourself that you do know. I used to tell myself I don't know all the time and that left me dumb and procrastinating. So I started saying I do know. And then I found this cool training from Luke Anning. I built my coaching business because I wired my reticular activating system, this amazing part of my brain, to lock onto this I do know kind of energy. And then my feelings and actions and results went on from that. Right? We're not going to get into that kind of topic of conversation right now, but right, that could be just a suggestion and that's going to change somebody's life. Your content, you want it to change somebody's life. Second might be, if you're a niche and you struggle with XYZ, do these 3 hacks for getting XYZ. XXX because you get Y, XXX because you get Y, X because you get Y, etc. So if you're a high achieving entrepreneur and want to start a coaching business but you struggle getting off the ground, these 3 hacks will change your life and get you started. 1, what's your mission? Because with your mission, you'll find purpose behind coaching. So guys, like literally this long video, we just shorten it into small pieces of content. 2, who could you help? Because when you know who to help, you'll know how to coach, or you'll know who to coach. 3, how can you get started? Because getting started is the hardest part. Once you solve that issue, you're off to the races. So give me a follow. There we go, guys. Like, literally take these 3 scripts and write out 3 things for each one, and you'll have 9 pieces of solid content to get going. XXX because you get Y. If you're a niche and you struggle with X, it took me XYZ years to learn this, but I'm going to give it to you in less than 60 seconds. So I might try and take this entire training that I just talked about and just bring that into 60 seconds. So that might look like, if you're someone who wants to start a coaching business, but you're stuck in the 9 to 5, but you don't know how to allocate time to actually allow you to build your side hustle. This took me 5 years to learn, but I'm going to tell you how to do it This took me 5 years to learn, but I'm going to tell you how to do it in 60 seconds. 1, you need to start allocating time in a calendar. So you need to have a Google Calendar so you know where your time is going. 2, you need to learn how to prioritize what's important, what's not important. So think about your 80%, 20% actions that get you 80% of the results. 3rd thing, get an accountability partner or a mentor. So that way you shortcut your way to success. And 4th way, you get it, guys. Like, when you know what you're doing, you just go off the fluff. You just go off your energy. And once you have a framework, you can just go off of it. So these are some frameworks. So lean in with it. And guys, first time you do it, it's probably going to suck. After that, it's going to suck less. First YouTube video I made wasn't amazing. It was great, but it wasn't as good as I would like it to be. Then after that, it just kept going and it got better. And here we are. So the next step of this, as you can see, we've covered you need a marketing system. Use ads because literally it's easier, cheaper, and you're going to get to your result faster. You need some fire content. And then we've got conversations. So we're into this actual engaged lead point. An engaged lead is somebody who's just interested in your service. So once somebody's liking and commenting on these comments, or like they follow you from your ad, then they become an engaged lead and you want to have a conversation with them. So the conversation may look like, and I'm going to make this so simple for you guys. I'm going to make this so simple. So honestly, I'll be real with you guys. I have so much fun in my DMs. It's like talking to my besties. If you've ever been DM'd by me, you genuinely know it. It gets pretty wild. So if not, just send me a message now saying that you're watching my YouTube video, and I'll drop you a ton of good energy. I'll literally give you an example. But it's super simple. So with DMs, you just build an initial relationship. Then you ask somebody what their goals are, what they're doing to get there, what they're struggling with, and then book a call if they're open to it. Now, obviously, you're not going to be like a robot. This is a framework for you guys. But it's really simple, and people really overcomplicate it. Some people build pen pals for like 6 months, or they just try and like dig into the pain point, or like dig into something. Like, you know, when somebody's like trying to get something from you, and you're like, bro, like, not interested. Like, that's what happens when people don't know what they're doing with DMs. But DMs are super simple when you know what you're doing. And we got like a whole appointment setting training with everybody that we work with. So this is banging. Like, this is banging stuff. Like, I literally booked 25 calls in a week as a new coach. So in that first 32 days, when I earned 10K, like 25 calls in a week, I was smashing it. We were at 55 calls in August this month. This August just gone. So like 3 months ago. So I was like, when we topped out, and then like my service broke a little bit, so I had to like go and fix it and make my modules better and redesign my structure of my program to the sort of stage 2 that I was telling you guys about. But you only need about 1 to 2 hours a day. Once you have like a really abundant lead flow from the ads and from your fire content, you don't need that many people to talk to in order to book potential client calls. So like, for example, like, I'm pretty like anti-course as well. So our appointment setting training in our modules is genuinely, it's like less than like 2 hours, because I just give you guys what you need. So we have literally this, we have like the whole principles of DMs. We're starting the conversation, sort of like values that you want to pick up, tips, tricks, like exact scripting of what to say. We've got something called the action to acquire method. We've got tracking, what to do there, so that you don't have people slip through the cracks, and you make sure that you help people. So yeah, we have all sorts, but there's literally only like 6 lessons in our appointment setting training, and this one's like 25 minutes, which is the long one. This one's like this one's like 3 minutes. This one's 3 minutes, and you get templates. So like you literally get like so much. So yeah, like it's a pretty simple process. Like once you get it going, and then the last portion to this is sales. Like, what do you do for sales? And some people get really intimidated in sales, and they're like, oh, I don't want to sell someone. But I need the money. It's like, no, you don't need the money. You need to help someone. So sales is so simple, guys. It's the world's easiest thing. And I know I say this, and I was like, if you watch some of my other videos, I was closing 1 in 15 at one point, and I ended up investing 10K into like a really high level sales trainer, because my sales sucked. So our sales module is actually really, really good at the moment. But it's really simple. You are literally coming back to this equation. You're helping understand somebody at point A, and then helping somebody understand themselves at B. Like when you go to a doctor's office, they don't just prescribe you a solution. They're going to ask you questions like, oh, you know, you come in with a knee that hurts. Okay, so like, can you bend your knee? Oh, like, where does it hurt? What's the pain out of 10? How long have you had the pain for? What have you tried already, right? These are just questions, and it's the same for sales. You're just going to ask questions to help somebody guide them through the solution. And guys, like, I signed up my first 8 clients without any sales frameworks or sales things. I just came on the call and I was like, okay, cool. So like, why did you want to have the call today? We're like, oh, because I want to change my fitness. Okay, cool. And where do you sort of want to get to? Okay, cool. And what are you struggling with right now? Like, I was just asking questions about them so that I could create a custom plan for them. That was it. So don't get all caught up in your head. You're literally just diagnosing somebody's problem, and then you're stepping forward and changing their life. It's that simple. So, with that said, that's pretty much everything you guys need. So, like, just to review here, you need your why. So, like, why specifically do you want to do this? Second, you need your mission, your vision, your goal. Third, your market. Fourth, your niche. Fifth, your SPP. Sixth, your offer. Seventh, your marketing. Eighth, your sales process. And then that's it. And then change somebody's life. Like, use your offer. Go and do the thing that you said that you were going to do. Start with one-to-one, get some clients, and then go to group, because it's scalable. Like, don't be that person who does like 50 different offers. That's a dumb way to build your business. Like, you may see people like that who post a different offer every week, but I can tell you right now, you're going to help a lot more people by doing one offer and improving it continually. And on the flip side, if you enjoyed this video, you want my help actually doing this, so you want my help actually helping you build out this funnel in full spec, you want to join people like Ryan, Sonia, Farah, Ollie. Like, literally, Lugani's one-to-one is the greatest investment I've ever made. During my 6-month period, I learned multiple concepts and practices around mindset and well-being, which I'm incorporated into my daily life to improve my confidence, self-love, and productivity. He's even doubled his income and started his own physiotherapy coaching business. Literally made $3,000 in his first week. And he was my last life coaching client, but yeah, he came in, absolutely crushed it. Then book a call down below. Like, honestly, like, if you want to pay for this with money rather than with time and figuring it out by yourself, which honestly, I hit my head against a brick wall for months doing it before I was like, you know what, I'm going to just do whatever it takes to do this. Like, we've got credit options. Like, literally one of our clients that signed up yesterday signed up on a credit card because she was like, I don't want to stay stuck in this job anymore, and I know that you can change my life, and I know that you've got a system, and I don't have any idea what my systems are right now, so I need your help. Then honestly, book a call below, because building this business by yourself can be really lonely, and that's why we have such an amazing community. Like, it's why Shadi was able to 10x her investment. It's why Farah is able to make $18,000 sales. It's why Jeannie's able to make £3,500 in a week. It's why so many of our other clients have been able to change their life. And I'm not one of those coaches that just started coaching coaches. Like, I built a coaching business first before helping other coaches. It literally hit 6 figures first before coaching other coaches. So we know what we're doing. So if that sounds like something that you'd like to do, you want to leave the 9 to 5, or you want to start traveling, or you just want to start impacting a lot of people, and you know this is what you're put on this earth to be and to do, and this sounds like something that is like genuinely interesting. So you might have started this video and be like, I've got no idea. Or you might just have some more questions, and if you have some more questions, drop them below the video or drop into my inbox. I'm more than happy to help you out. And then when you're ready, book a call. It's more of like an enrollment call. Like, it's more of like a sign-up call, to be honest. It's more just me figuring out if this is a good fit for you or not. And then we'll get started. And then you can join these other clients who are leaving their jobs, traveling the world, changing lives, and have built an amazing, and continue to build an amazing coaching business. So with that said, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.